Graeme, Simon last week was putting up a quite sickening defence for Jose Mourinho, his best pal in football. It really was quite sad, but
balanced view is what he means.
He loves some of the big names in the game, and Mourinho apparently is a good pal of Simon's. I'm jesting, but were you surprised that Roma, and you played out there, you know the temperature of Italian football, were you surprised that Roma called time on Mourinho?
Well, the results have not been good. So, in any big football club, you're under pressure when that happens. So I'm not totally surprised. He's still got currency in the game.
No, that's what I want to get to.
I think there'll be another big job for him. I have to say, I've been on the bench when he's been managing Chelsea first time round, and he was one of the better ones. He kept himself to himself, didn't say anything daft. We'd always come in for a drink. And then you look at some of his antics at Chelsea and beyond, and then you start to form an opinion. I'm not sure about him anymore. And then he came to work for Sky, and I did several shows with him. He's fabulous. He's funny, full of mischief, he's like a big kid. Want to take the mick and do daft things.
Yeah.
And really, really enjoyed his time I enjoyed his time at Sky. Found him really entertaining, good on the game, spoke well, common sense, which a lot of footballers, that's what it's about. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I am a fan to a degree, but not so much as I was.
Why?
For his behaviour in the likes of the Europa final against Seville.
Can I say this in every manager's defence, including myself? You're two people. See, when you're winning, it's going well. You're an open book. Everyone's mate. You pick the phone up to everyone. You respond to everything, and you seem a good guy. When it's not going well, or when it's work day and it's not going well, you become a very different person.
And did he become a different person?
That is fact. If you look at Jurgen Klopp, you look at, well, back into all the greats in the game, Alex Ferguson, absolutely charming, as long as he was winning.
Yeah.
Angriest man, most unpleasant man.
Yeah, but how many referees did you approach in the car park post-match, admittedly after a European final, like he did with Anthony Taylor? And then Taylor and his family ran into big trouble at the airport trying to get out of Prague with it wasn't in Prague, I fail to remember where it was, but he ran into serious trouble trying to get out of the country, and Taylor had his family with him.
Yeah, well, that's not right. I can't condone that, no. But I'm a fan. I think he brings interest to whatever football club he works for. He knows his stuff. He's a serial winner.
What's next for him then, if there's still a big job?
Well, if you read the newspapers, it's Napoli, and they're a team that in recent history have been successful and sitting mid-table now and complaining about everything. That would be a perfect fit for him. It's another high-profile job. He loves to be in the headlights, doesn't he? He thrives on that. He likes to be the centre of attention. That'd be a great job for him.
No way back to the Premier League,
well,
do you think?
Again, I'm only going by
Is there a club here that would take a punt on Mourinho?
Yeah, lots of big clubs would. I mean, the interest he would create would be enormous. All of a sudden, everyone wants to talk about that football club because he is the manager. He gets such, I tell you where he's changed. And I think it goes back to his time at Man United. I think he was... See, when you work with a big group of players, the hardest part is keeping the ones on the peripheral happy. When you got 30 players, you got half a dozen injured. There's always a good half dozen, 7, 8 players that are not happy with it because they're not starting every week. It's keeping those ones happy. And the only way you can keep them happy all of the time is by winning and winning trophies. So he did that first time around. He had a great squad at Chelsea, and he was doing that. And I think throughout his career, he's found, as he's got longer in the tooth, he's become less prepared to pamper the pampered pooches.
Pamper the pampered pooches?
Yeah. We've got one with us, haven't we, today?
Oh, we have.
You've confirmed he's a
pampered
boy
pooch.
As a kid.
I mean, Simon, I have stressed with you that I agree with you. When he first came here, magnificent.
Did,
and the special one, etc., etc. But to me, the final straw had to come, and it was in, I think it was Budapest, that final, after Seville. And the attention that he deliberately turned on Taylor in the car park and Taylor's family was absolutely unacceptable. And then in a news conference not long after that saying, I will never accept that Seville beat us in that final.
Okay, all right, fine, okay. I agree that that's not great and it's a poor look. But you lot in the media are the ones that turn the heat up on it.
Why don't look at me?
I'm not looking at you, I'm looking across the desk at you.
Yeah.
In terms of not looking at you to be accountable for what I'm saying. No, I look at him every single day.
So the media invited the pile-on to Taylor and his family at the airport.
But don't sit here and feigning interest in the consequences that Taylor had by people's poor behaviour at an airport when the media turned it into a 4-act play. Managers, and Graeme will attest to this, not to the extent that Mourinho did by going into a car park and doing what he did, but managers have altercations with referees after games in the corridor of between dressing rooms or in their office. Right? This one went a bit far. Right. And of course the media, this is another case for the reason why you don't give media access to the back of football, because otherwise they'll turn it into this. This has now turned into a media story, and then all of a sudden all these idiots at the airport pile into Anthony Taylor, and the media go, how could that happen? Oh gee, I don't know, maybe you shone a light on it for every single day for the last 6 weeks.
Happened.
Because you're the ones that made a 4-out play out of it.
It first came to...
No, so don't be worried about Taylor's...
The incident in the back car park came to light on social media.
And was then carried by mainstream media.
There was
left, right, and centre.
The broadcaster didn't have an outside broadcast in the back car park.
No, they didn't. But what I'm saying is the coverage in mainstream media was prolific. And by the way,
what part did Mourinho play in it?
Poor parts.
But
here's the thing: you're concerned. If everyone's so concerned for Anthony Taylor's health, right? Was Anthony Taylor's health in jeopardy because Mourinho called him a few rude names in the car park? No, his health was in jeopardy because everyone made a 4-act play about something that happens regularly behind the scenes in football, which is altercations between officials and managers.
I think it'd be very interesting to hear Anthony Taylor, even now, his take on what happened at the airport in front of his wife and children.
But again, I'll ask you the question: if Mourinho has an altercation with a referee with no one privy to it, was the referee in a terrible state and his family in a terrible state, or was it because everyone made a 4-act play out of it, turned it into a circus, and then all of a sudden all the idiot fringe? 4-act.
4-act.
4-act. A 4-act play.
A 4-act, sorry.
As opposed to a 3-act play.
It was the fourth of the 4 acts. Well, we shall see. Graeme, as you rightly say, the man at the top of Napoli appears to have a serious interest in Mourinho. We'll see if he ends up in the city of Naples. No drama there, Graeme. 12:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.